Hello, welcome to the Nerd Spectrum podcast. I think we'll get this out of the way early because I'll probably forget when we argue later. We are now on Spotify and on iTunes. You can find us on both those apps. Daisy's not using her horn, thank God. But yeah, so find us there. Today, we will be kicking off the week with another one of our rank videos. We're doing the top 10 Harry Potter movies.
Yes, this includes the Fantastic Beasts.
It would have to because, yeah.
Okay, like, I can make a top list without having to be 10.
Yeah, but, you know, I think adding the Fantastic Beasts might make things a little more interesting.
I mean, my list is pretty much the same when it comes to, like, the books.
What do we count as the Cursed Child?
We already know how I feel about that, okay?
Number 11.
Like, number, like, negative 5 million.
Doesn't exist.
Does not exist.
It's like the Percy Jackson.
It's not on the radar.
We don't talk about it.
Yeah, we don't. That's not. I heard the play is, like, lovely and, like, a good time. But it's all stupid.
Okay, well, with that in mind, the way we're going to be doing this is we're doing 10 to 7, 6 to 4, 3 2, and then we'll both reveal our number ones. Okay. So, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first? I think you should go first because this is your fandom more than my fandom. So, by all means, go for it.
Why would I go first then? Shouldn't I go second? My opinion is more important.
No. What?
Yeah.
That's not how this works.
No, like my opinion.
I'm definitely, when we do
like
our Star Wars top 10, I am definitely first.
Okay, sure.
We'll flip a coin for Marvel.
So, 10 through 7?
10 through 7.
Sorry, I had a burp.
That's fine.
Okay, 10. Crimes of Grindelwald.
Okay, that's my 10.
Really?
That movie was not... That movie was like the worst kind of filler movie that I've ever seen.
I want to love it so much because, you know, it is Harry Potter. But that ending just really... Not even just the ending. The last, like, 5 minutes. Like, I could deal with it if it wasn't for that last, like, end reveal. That's just what really tanked it for me.
I just don't understand. And we'll be doing spoilers for that, so if you haven't seen it.
This is just gonna be spoiler city, honestly.
Well, that's the only one that, like, warrants, like, a spoiler alert. Because it came out,
People
November?
are dumb. They haven't seen them.
Hey, man. Harry Potter's just not on a lot of people's radar.
Whatever. Okay, spoilers for all of the Harry Potter.
Just the fact that World War II ties into Harry Potter somehow bugs me.
Because it's the wizards.
What do you mean it's the wizards?
Was that... Okay, whatever. Like, World War II was a cover for the wizards.
But he showed the nuke. He was like, hey, they're gonna nuke. So, you know, like, that part does not make sense. Or, you know, that bugged me. The whole Lestrange thing bugged me. Just, a lot of the story...
The Lestrange thing, my main things that I didn't like was the end reveal about, Credence being a Dumbledore, because that doesn't make sense in any way, shape, or form. And I've looked back at the books after that movie came out, and it does not make sense.
You went through the Pottermores? You did all the...
I did my research. Did not make sense.
Fox was his first. It wasn't...
Yeah, it doesn't...
Albus's first. You can't say Dumbledore because now there's 2.
Yeah, oh, fuck me. But yeah, so, like, it didn't make sense. And then the rest of it was fine. Like, the whole, like, Lestrange thing was, like, whatever, I guess. Not the best, but I can look past it.
All 5 separate storylines. Queenie losing her goddamn mind.
The Nagini thing.
Why does that bug you?
Because she wasn't even used.
Yeah.
Like, it was literally, she's just there. Like, she doesn't even have, like, any lines.
She says, like, Credence a couple times.
Yeah, but, like, she's literally just there and, like, touches his shoulder lightly and is like, Like, she serves no purpose. Like, it's really just there for fan service.
Ouch.
And I didn't like it, and it doesn't make sense. And also, it doesn't make sense because J.K. Rowling previously said that the snake in the first movie in Sorcerer's Stone that Harry lets out is Nagini.
Yeah.
She has said that. And in the movie, and even the books, it says, oh, you were from Brazil? That must be nice. And the snake was like, nope, I was bred in captivity. Like, it says it right there on the sign. So it's like, it doesn't make sense. Like, there's no way that would have happened unless it's like an ancestor type of shit snake. Like, it's an ancestor snake.
Maybe.
That's stupid.
You don't, I mean, like, people capture snakes and stuff and like animals all the time, and they're just like, hey, let's put them in a zoo. For conservative reasons, obviously, for some, but not always. Yeah. I don't think we need more snakes, but maybe I'm wrong. But you know what I mean? Like, that could be it.
It was just dumb. Just dumb. So there's no purpose. There's no reason for her to be there. But yeah, there was also a lot of stories.
My biggest hang up was just Queenie losing her goddamn mind for no reason.
Yeah.
And like...
For what seemed like no reason.
Yeah, where Jacob was like, you're crazy, but didn't say it, he thought it, and she like legitimately lost it. So, I don't know, there was just like, it was a lot of filler, and then like, all the paths crossed at like weird places, and we're just like, why? And then Lita loving Newt, but marrying,
his brother?
What's his name? Theseus.
Yeah.
Theseus. Yeah. Just like all that. It made no sense. There was a lot of like this, we talked about it in like the, do they have too much power episode? Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I think she does. And she got a little crazy.
Just a little crazy, okay.
Number 9?
9. Why are you smiling at me like that?
Because I don't know. We'll see. Keep going.
9 on my list is Chamber of Secrets.
That's my 7.
Okay.
So, still within the range, so we can talk about it.
Okay.
Why is it your 9?
Just because the story in general, like even the book, it doesn't entertain me as much as like the rest of them are, or do.
How? There's snakes. There's fox.
There's snakes.
There's snakes. There's giant spiders. There's giant snakes. There's fox. People are getting like petrified all over the castle. Like, there's a lot more excitement in that.
I don't know. I just it's a little lacking.
You meet Tom Riddle, aka Voldemort, for the like. You see his younger self. There's like the like peak of his origin and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's
just not about it.
Yeah, basically.
Lockhart.
It was horrible, and I hate him.
Yeah, but like it was funny. The freshly plucked.
No, it was just so
Cornish pixies.
No, it was like totally frustrating. Like I hated it. Oh my god, he's like the worst.
Worse than Umbridge?
No, but like he's bad too. Like anytime like I would read where he's like in it, I'm just like, oh my god, can you please shut up? Like I feel like I was like Ron level with my hate in him.
When just dunked him with a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Shut up. Knock him out.
I liked it. I liked everything that was going on. I liked the politics that were getting into this, because this is like the start where Fudge is like, this is Dumbledore's fault, and like Malfoy's like trying to pin it all on Dumbledore, and like he's not suitable. This is like the start of the weird political fight between Dumbledore and the Ministry for Hogwarts and like the youth and all that stuff. So I thought it was like, in hindsight, looking back at all of them, I thought it was really cool. And Fang's just adorable. Fang's such a good boy.
Yeah.
He faced the spiders with Harry and Ron.
Yeah.
And most quotable line?
Stupid freaking car.
What do you mean stupid? The car saved their lives.
No, he's funny.
He launched them out. He was like, I'm done with y'all. I'm wild now. Peace. I'll be with the centaurs.
Yeah, you never really saw it ever again. I think...
You hear a rumor about it in a later book.
Yeah. You hear about it later on in the book. And you're just like, ha.
Yeah, it's like a weird little wink.
Yeah, but like, that's it.
All right, you're number 8?
Order of the Phoenix.
That's a slight hold.
Okay.
7?
Fantastic Beasts.
What? Okay, that's like a... No. We're going to go to mine then. So my 10 is Grimes of Grindelwald. Uh-huh. My 9 is Sorcerer's Stone.
Oh... What?
It's not, if you're like Chamber isn't that interesting, Sorceress is not that interesting.
It literally is like the kickoff to the entire... What?
It's a little slow.
What?
Just a bit. You're making Cleo cry.
Because she also was like, what?
You hit the desk.
My bad.
That's your one. And I also hit the desk, so we're tied.
The
we'll keep like a point system of like no nonsense.
No nonsense. Anyways, what? It literally starts the entire thing, and it's just like brings you into the world of magic, and it's just a beautiful like kickoff. Like, what do you mean it's not interesting?
I mean, I think we'll get into it later, obviously.
You're ridiculous.
So my number 8, Deathly Hallows Part 2. Wait, did I get that right? Hold up.
You did not do this list right, because there is
part
no
1.
way.
It's part 1. I miswrote. Sorry. It just looked like a 2.
How bad is your handwriting that a 1 looks like a 2?
Really bad, because I was writing this in a rush. But yeah, well, because I had the list in my head, and I was like, oh my god, I'm going to forget this. Got to jot it down. But yeah, Deathly Hallows Part 1.
And what number was that? 8?
8.
Okay.
That'll hold? Or, well, it has to be, because you did your...
I already did them.
Okay, so then...
Keep going.
And then 7's Chamber of Secrets. So, we only agreed on 10 and 7. Well, sort of 7.
Well, we agreed on 2 movies in this low category.
Yeah. Moving up.
Okay, so what, 6 through 4?
Yes.
Okay, 6 is Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, is it a hold?
It's because it's like
it's like a slight, yeah. I mean,
what can we say? It's like The Lord of the Rings, just lots of walking.
Yeah, it's just
lots
a lot.
Of despair.
It's just a lot, and it's like, it's a lot of like, Harry knows what he needs to do, but he has no idea how to do it, or where to do it, or anything, so it's like a lot of...
guesswork.
Yeah.
And a lot of like, it's like trying to put a puzzle together, but not being given an image.
Yeah.
You're just going based off the pieces.
Being like, here's the stuff, like, hope you can figure that out for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the book is way more interesting.
No, because that entire...
No, it is. There's, like, if you, like, if you read just the first part of the book, like, where the movie, and you stop where the movie stops, and you follow it that way, there's still a lot more that goes on that, in my opinion, is more interesting in the book that they obviously leave out in the movie.
There's just slightly more dodging, in my opinion.
I mean, I guess, but there's, like, a lot of backstory with, like, Dumbledore and, like, his...
Oh, reading the book and stuff like that?
Yeah, like, that stuff, and,
okay.
like, there's
I agree.
it's, like, more interesting, and, like, it's, like...
The wedding is way more interesting.
Yeah, and the wedding's, like, longer, and, like, that time frame, and...
The birthday.
All this other stuff.
Because they skip over Harry's...
Yeah, there's a lot of other things that, in my opinion, are interesting in the book, that they don't include in the movie, because, you know, movies are things.
Alright, you're number 5?
Okay. It's, Prisoner of Azkaban.
Oh my god, no, hold. This is where we, start getting at each other's throats.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
4? Make me mad. Say something dumb.
Goblet of Fire.
Okay, that's my 4.
Okay, good.
In my opinion, the most exciting book. And
Goblet of Fire?
Yeah.
Oh,
and also
yeah.
the movie, because there's so much, like, exposure.
Like, if this was books, it would be completely different.
Oh my god. Maybe we'll do that
I
later.
thought it was going to be the same, but then I started thinking about the stories, and my list would be so different if it was book form.
Also, you take out, like, Deathly Hallows. Or, like, half of Deathly Hallows, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, there'd only be 7.
And it's so much better when it's a full story.
Yeah.
Goblet of Fire exposes you to the magical nations. Like...
there's more than just the British wizards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get... I don't even know what from. Were they German? Were they Austrian? Were they Russian?
Russia.
Okay. And then the Beauxbatons were France.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, it was a good time. I liked...
It was like there's wizarding schools in not just Europe, like... Oh,
yeah. Did you have a favorite... Like, when you were exposed to the other two, were you like, oh, damn, Beauxbatons or Durmstrang are better? Or, like, superior... No?
No.
Just very on Hogwarts, you're like, who are these assholes?
Yeah, plus the fact that they had Harry and Cedric in the Triwizard Tournament, like...
They had Crumb, though.
Okay. And he got eaten by a bush in the maze.
So?
And, like, zombified.
That wasn't his fault, though. He couldn't
Yeah,
help
it's
that.
not his fault, but still.
And then nobody... Fleur? What happened to Fleur? She got eaten by the bush in the movie, and then she couldn't make it past the Grandilos in the first...
Yeah, she just sucked.
The second task, or was the first task? Second task, because it was mermaids.
The only thing that I didn't like that was inaccurate was that they made it like the Beauxbatons are only girls and the, like, Durmstrang are only guys.
Yeah, because I remember they were talking about the
But they were guys. Yeah, there's other genders.
Well, didn't one of the Gryffindors go on a date with one of the Beauxbaton boys? Or, like, one of the main characters?
Something along those lines. Yeah.
I also wish I saw the dragons. I wanted to see all the dragons.
Oh, like the fight?
But not between all of them, necessarily. Like, it didn't need to be, like, a long fight like Harry's was.
But just, like, see them
the
also
Swedish short
tussle
snout,
with them.
the Chinese fireball, I'm forgetting...
Something snout.
Hungarian horntail.
I feel like there's something snout.
Didn't I say Swedish short snout?
Is that? Okay, well.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I covered it. But, like, the dragons would have been cool. the mermaids were cool. It was weird to see them.
It was a good movie overall. It was a fun time, lots of action, very
Fun
much like
time.
pew, 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 and then it got real sad at the end.
It started off with like a terrorist attack from the Death Eaters.
A fun time.
The most fun was seeing them tease Ron about Crumb.
Yeah.
They're just like flying around with their Irish flags or whatever.
Yeah, but it was a good movie. It's when like shit got real.
It's when Voldemort got real.
It was the turning point in the series where it got real dark real fast.
You learned how devoted Pettigrew was when he cut off his hand.
Oh my god, the
worst. That was crazy. What else? You saw the parents for the first time, like outside of like a book. Like they physically manifested, or I guess as physical as you can be when you're a ghost.
Yeah, the memory of them.
What else? Mm-hmm. Their first duel. Mm-hmm. You're just giving me a look like that was anticlimactic.
Like, what do you mean?
That was like, first off.
No, what duel?
Harry's and Voldemort's.
Oh.
Like their first fight. Like
you just said their first duel, and I'm like,
who else dueled in the movie? No one.
It's a bunch of wizards. Like
but no one fought.
All the time.
I mean, like Crumb got shot, and that was it.
Anyways, yeah.
I do wish trials in the maze though were a little more specific, like the skewers and the Sphinx.
Yeah,
that would have been cool. Because I
just have a little more, but I mean,
I could never visualize what a skewer was outside of like a giant lobster.
Yes,
because they just describe it as like giant rocky looking things that shoot sparks. Mm-hmm. So that would have been nice.
Did you okay? Yours. You're 654.
Order of the Phoenix is number 6.
I'm sorry, I had to like.
You have to make sure. You have to verify you don't say what too early.
I was like, what? No, yeah, that was lower down. Okay.
Lower down.
It was my 8. Order of the Phoenix.
Oh, I put it on a hold for you then, because Yeah. My bad. Order of the Phoenix.
A 6?
Yeah. So we can talk about it. Why is it your 8?
Why do you make it so high?
This took a lot of thought, right? Because Order of the Phoenix is my least favorite book. But you get to see Dumbledore and Voldemort go at it. And that's pretty awesome. That's pretty dope. Harry gets, like, the end, I think, pays off for all the BS. Also, like, Thestrals, Luna, like, the introductions. Dies. So what? People die all the time. Cedric just died in the last movie we talked about.
Yeah, but no one cared about him. You weren't attached.
Cho cared about him.
Okay, and no one cares about Cho either.
Harry cared about Cho. Boom. So, bam.
He chose wrongly.
That's bad.
Yeah.
But when Fred and George, like, there's just, like, a lot of good in it, despite, like, the main reason, like, I would put it lower would be, like, Umbridge, because, like, you really feel that oppression.
Yes.
When somebody's just, like, condescending and keeps telling you you're wrong, and it's like, no.
Yeah. I mean,
like, especially as a kid.
It wasn't the end, or, like, lower, because Umbridge is, like, one of the best villains of all time because she's horrible and I hate her. But I'm also, like, I cannot sit through that movie and just, like, have her just the entire time and, like, stand it. I'm just like, ooh, bitch, I want to hit you so bad. Like, I wish I was part of this, like, universe. I could just, like, I don't care if I get expelled.
See, but because that feeling that you get, like, that's why it deserves its place, I guess. Like, that, and then she gets her comeuppance, obviously, when they take her away. The centaurs take her away. And what is it, Grop? Saves them? Mm-hmm. Poor Grop. He just wanted some friends. They all shot him. Yeah, that was
a cool little side story.
Yeah.
Hagrid getting his little brother.
His little brother. But yeah, no, so I think it all pays off. And seeing Harry teach, like, everybody, like... He never teaches, like, offense, right? It's always defense. Like, regardless of the spells they use, like, they're offensive spells in terms of they can take somebody down. But it's never, like, use a killing curse. It's never, like... Aside from Jenny's Reducto... Mm-hmm. It's very Jedi, I guess, where it's like, it's a lot of just things. Like, they don't need to be learning Levi Corpus to fight a Death Eater, but I mean, swinging somebody, like, upside down from their left foot is pretty...
Like, kind of throws you off.
Yeah, it really disorients you.
Yeah.
So that, you meet Bellatrix. Because she wasn't in Goblet. She hadn't been freed yet.
Yeah, maybe unpopular opinion, but I don't really like Helena Bonham Carter as Bellatrix.
Why?
Like, the look of her is 100% like what I pictured when I read the books, but, like, I don't like her overacting.
Like the crazy.
Yeah. Like, I get the character is supposed to be just so devoted to, like, Voldemort and, like, the cause, I guess, that she's just, like, so, like, in it, but, like, she just overacts, and it's just, like, little things where she's just, like, and, like, just, like, in the background, kind of just, like, fluttering around. I don't really like it.
I mean, she's supposed to, like, revel in, like, the death and, like, create, like, that's part, like, that's her thing.
Yeah, I know, but, like,
that's such a weird, I don't know, that's a weird criticism in my opinion. That's like saying, like, I don't like Harley, or I don't like Margot Robbie's Harley because...
I have a lot of just weird criticisms about little things.
That is very weird.
Yeah.
What else? This was, like, a turning point for Harry, too. Like, this was, like, his fork in the road, right? Because, like, all his life, he's, like, there's comparisons between the two. Pause, I think our dogs are fighting. Yeah. All right. Now we're going to fight. You ready? You ready to fight?
Yeah.
Number 5. Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Oh, yeah, we're going to fight. That's a hold.
How? Yeah. You know how you were like, maybe we have our top 3 aren't, like, one movie off. It's like, yes, but, like, that's...
I forgot you didn't read the rest of your 5-4.
Exactly.
We're fighting, for sure.
It's not like we're, like, it's... Okay, whatever. And then 4 was Goblet of Fire. So we already talked about that. So now you're 3 and 2.
Okay.
And now let's see, like, how bad we fight.
Okay. My 3 is Sorcerer's Stone.
My 9?
Yeah.
It's boring.
It's not boring.
It's boring.
How is it boring? Tell me. Please tell me how you do not sit through that movie and you are not entertained.
It's so slow. The, like, funniest parts, the troll. What else? See, like, the fact that I'm blanking is, like, him flying's cool. I think the image of Quirrell holding the iguana is pretty funny. Like, it's just, you know.
But it's like, obviously, it's the introduction. Like, it's like, here's this magical world. Like, isn't it beautiful?
The problem with the Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets that they have in common is their director. Yeah. It's Christopher Columbus, right?
Yeah.
He put so much, and it's not a bad thing, right? Because if you want a book made into a movie, he did a great job at putting a lot of book into that movie.
He did amazing. But if he didn't, like, the first book, look at that first book.
It's tiny.
There's nothing there.
Yeah.
What did you want him to do? He literally put the entire goddamn book into that movie.
Yeah, but, like, here's the thing, if he did that with, like, a Half-Blood Prince or a Goblet of Fire, I feel like we would have gotten way more details with that. Sorry, I keep looking at the bookshelf. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, you would want a Chris Columbus to make one of those movies with a lot of extra detail and stuff. You would,
but, like, what would you have done? Like, if anyone else had gotten that movie and they were like, well, there's too many details, like, I don't care, I'm gonna do... They would have fucked it up, and it would never have been... Harry Potter would never be what it was today, and I firmly believe that, because somebody else would go in there and try to add something else,
well,
or like, no, shut up. Someone would go in there and try to add more things that either didn't happen and are completely unnecessary and make it weird, or they would have tried to add stuff from, like, other books.
David Yates did fine. And he didn't add
He worked with bigger books with so much more to deal with. He did 4 through 7 part 2.
So he did 4 movies? 4, 5, 6, 7
yeah,
parts.
He did
5,
4 movies.
No, 5 movies. Because if it's normal numbers, then yes, that's 4. But because there's a part 2, it's 5.
He did 4 through 7.
4, 5, 6, 7, 7.2.
Okay, yes.
So
he did 5 movies.
So, like, if you gave it David Yates, the first one and the second one, they would have been fine. They're not detailed books. And I'm glad Alfonso Cuarón, that his name, got Azkaban, because that was, like, a dark movie, and it shows, you know? It was really dope.
No, I don't. If anyone else got it, they would have tried to make it something that it's not, and it would have failed.
Okay, well, for you viewers out there, I don't know if you all know this, but Spielberg tried to get Harry Potter and try to do, like... He either tried to do 1 through 7 in one film, or he tried to do...
He would have fucked up.
No, because at the time, only 1 through 4, 1 through 3 had come out. He tried to do
all... When the movie came out, there were only, like, 2 books out.
Yeah, but, like, that was prior to that. Okay, so no, when it came out was 2000 or 2001?
The movie?
Yeah.
2000, I believe.
Okay.
No, 2001.
Whatever. He tried to do whatever books were currently available and about to be released. He tried to do all those as one film. And then he would have done like
it
a
would
sequel.
have been like the Series of Unfortunate Events movie with Jim Carrey in it, where they tried to shove all of those books into one movie, and it would have been trash.
As somebody that didn't read them at the time, I was fine with that. Because Jim Carrey as Count Olaf was hilarious.
True, but overall, the story, because you read the books.
I still haven't read the books for...
Well, I did, and it was underwhelming.
Okay. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. Sorcerer's Stone...
No, I'm just saying, you're trash. Your opinion is trash, and I don't like it.
Sorcerer's Stone...
We're gonna fight.
Long run. It's alright.
No, it's not.
It's like the longest movie. And then you watch it...
No, it's not!
And then when you watch it on ABC, it's like, like all these details.
You're just saying all these words, and I feel like they're just so you can hurt me.
It's alright. Chamber of Secrets is more exciting. There's a sword and a snake. It's like fighting a dragon. Harry has like a fighting a dragon moment. Like legitimate. And there's Fox. Fox is adorable.
I'm gonna rewatch all these movies, and I'm gonna do it by myself because I'm tired of you and your trash opinions.
Okay, what's your 2?
Half-Blood Prince.
Okay, that's my 2.
Really?
I'm glad we can agree on something.
Yeah.
See, if Chris Columbus got Half-Blood Prince, and you had the Battle of Hogwarts, would have been dope.
Yeah, it would have been dope.
You would have seen Fenrir Greyback way earlier. You would have had... I feel like the reveal of Snape being the Half-Blood Prince would have been like a bigger thing. Would have been dope.
Anyways, Half-Blood Prince, dope-ass movie.
That's just because... Is it because you like origins?
Hell yes.
You would have gotten the fact that Tom took those 2 to the cave.
Oh, yeah, when in his orphanage?
Yeah, and like messed them up.
Oh, yeah, I really want to know what he did to mess them up because, like, they did not come back the same.
Didn't he kill a rabbit, too?
Yes.
He killed somebody's rabbit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he killed, like, multiple people's pets.
That's messed up. Sociopath.
He's a messed up dude!
I don't know why Dumbledore was like, you know what, let's recruit that kid. Bring him to the Hogwarts.
I think it was like, I see the evil in him. Maybe I'll try to, like, change that because he's never been loved before. But he doesn't understand the concept of love, so, like, there's no trying.
That classic Dumbledore arrogance.
Yeah. He learned eventually, kind of.
This is also, there's a payoff, not a payoff, but like a reverse payoff for Snape where it's like, he didn't successfully teach Harry, this is a little more book oriented, he didn't successfully teach Harry occlumency, so he couldn't close his mind and use spells because like that was one of the criticisms when he revealed himself as the Half-Blood Prince, where it was like, can't close your mind, so of course, all your stuff's predictable. Also, random, but like, of all the things Bellatrix had to do, I understand blowing up the Great Hall, I understand making a giant scene, whatever. She had to set like Hagrid's thing on fire.
His hut?
Yeah. That was so rude.
Just being the evil bitch, you know. You just destroy everything. Yes, the movie's great. I love the backstory of all of it. It's extra dark, and I love that. And
legitimately, like they put like every dark filter available.
Oh yeah, you cannot watch these movies if there's any sort of light in your room besides that TV.
Yeah.
But it's just so good, and I love the backstory, and I like that you get that little hint of, like, Dumbledore having a troubled past.
I didn't like Harry and Ginny's relationship in this, though.
No.
That's, like, unrelated completely, but, like...
Yes, it just was kind of just, like, thrown in there because it happened, but, like, they didn't set it up properly beforehand.
Oh, Ron gets a girlfriend!
Lavender Brown? The most annoying bitch on the planet?
Oh my god. Yeah, totally.
She's the worst! Okay, she's not the worst, but... I don't like her, and it's just...
There's a lot going on in Ron's life in this book. Or this movie, too. Because...
And he almost dies?
Yeah, exactly. Who was it that gave Harry the love chocolates? It wasn't Lavender.
No. Why would it be Lavender?
I can't remember. I mean, I don't know.
It was just a random girl.
All the girls suddenly tried to get on Harry.
Because he was the chosen one.
Yeah, but, like... They should have known that from the scar, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't
yeah, like, why did you not believe he was the chosen one until this moment?
Like, oh, the Ministry finally admits Voldemort's back, and so
like,
you're
the whole, like, Voldemort disappeared after he, like, you know, did it as a baby wasn't enough for you to be like, oh, shit, this guy is, like, extra special. Let me try to get with that.
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of bugged me. But that was hilarious. Like, that was such a great scene.
Yeah, it was just good.
Until, you know, obviously almost dying.
Yeah.
What else?
Okay.
What else happens in that? I'm blanking. He gets Slughorn. They reveal the Horcruxes.
Yeah.
Which is really good. Draco can't nut up and freaking take out old man.
Draco. His troubled... I mean, I'm not a Draco sympathizer. Like, I don't care. Like, yeah, you're having a bad time because your dad fucked up and now he's in Azkaban and you have to deal with the repercussions. But, like, this entire goddamn series, you were like, I'm a badass, like, don't mess with me, like, yeah, we're, like, on the dark side of the wizard life, like, you know? And then out of nowhere, he's just like, yeah, I can't handle this anymore, it's too hard for me. It's like, shut up!
Also, you learn a very important lesson. Don't use spells you do not know.
Yes.
Or you will cut open your classmates.
Oh my god, that was terrifying.
Sectum Semptra.
Ugh.
When they were dueling, like, weirdest duel too, right? Because they're just like looking under the stalls and then they're shooting at each other, which is completely like
just
irrelevant.
All that water and just fills up with his blood, and it's just like, oh my god! But it was good.
Yeah,
it was so good.
It's pretty dope.
Okay.
Now my 3 and 2. So my 2 is Half-Blood. Got that out of the way. Now let's fight. Fantastic Beasts is number 3.
Why is it so high?
What do you mean, why is it so high? Fantastic Beasts was great. And I'm so mad that they're making Newt's story into, like, a Dumbledore story. Like, it's, like, Newt / Dumbledore. It bugs me to death. Because, like, the Fantastic Beasts on its own would have been cool. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You get the Niffler. Mm-hmm. You get the Mooncalfs. You get that weird rhino hippo thing that tries to mate with
Kowalski.
Kowalski.
Yeah.
You get Kowalski. Kowalski's such a good dude.
Yeah, he is pretty dope.
Like, it's the best. You get the Alchemy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I almost said Ocarina, but that's Legend of Zelda. You get the Alchemy, which is like the cutest little snake bird, and you're like, it just fills its space. There are so many cool creatures that we've never been exposed to, and you expose, like, if Newt just traveled the world looking for these animals, it would have been such a good movie on its own, just to expose you to, like, different magical things and, like, let you know what's going on during the times and stuff like that. Sure. No, instead, it's like, oh, there's this secret plot by Grindelwald, and, like, you gotta go get him, and it's, like, plot twist. Mm-hmm. Grindelwald's been in Makusa the entire time.
Yeah.
I do, like... And then that, too. You learn about Makusa. You learn about their weird-ass laws, where it's, like, y'all can't date, talk, marry, have children
interact with.
Yeah, like, the whole Muggle thing. Well, they call them no-mages. Again, really weird, in my opinion. Because to me, you just see that on, like... Oh, you just see that as a word. It's, like, no-mag. And it's like, what? Muggles is more appropriate, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
All that, like, all the exposure to, like, all the expansion is so amazing. And then they ruin it with Fantastic Beasts Crimes of Grindelwald.
Alright, here, let me tell you a thing, boy.
Yeah?
Like, I get for you why it is so high, because you love animals, like, just in general, in real life. So, like, seeing these Fantastic Beasts, obviously is super cool. But, like... And there's no way that it deserves to be on a top 3.
It was a good reboot for the franchise.
Yeah, okay, I'm not saying that it's a bad movie, but I don't get how it's a top 3 when you have all of these other amazing actual Harry Potter series movies to do.
I don't know, man. It just, like, 3 to 7 part 2, absolutely... Not absolutely, but for the most part, very oppressing and depressing for a viewer to watch. It just gets significantly darker and darker. More deaths, more like the world's ending.
It's like you just don't like anything.
Fantastic Beasts, nice refreshing thing with animals.
It's
all about just saving one boy. And, like, it doesn't need to be harder than that. And then they, made it harder than that, obviously.
I just don't think I, like, have a response anymore because, like, I just don't get it, and it just doesn't make sense. And it's a good movie, like, on its own. Sure, I definitely agree that it's better than Crimes of Grindelwald, that had so much potential with, like, the story and whatnot.
You're really struggling for words here, huh?
Yes, I am. But, like, I don't...
It brings back... Okay, so you know how, like, you're, like, Sorcerer's Stone is, like, the magic and, like, the introduction and stuff? This is, like, that for me on a different expansion, right? Because, like, I read the Harry Potter books 1 through whatever was out from 1st grade up until, like, 8th grade. Because I think that's, like, 7th or 8th is when the last book came out. I can't remember.
Don't remember.
But I knew I had it in middle school. The point is, this was such a refreshing, like, expansion and, like, show you how magical the world is. And, like, it's also, like, very relevant to, like, how we're destroying the world and how just more and more species are getting added to endangered or extinct lists. It's nice to just have somebody be like, love animals. Like, why can't we love animals? They're not all deranged beasts. Even the cat in Crimes of Grindelwald, the fireworks cat whose name is escaping me, who just wanted a little toy bell to play with. You show him that bell, you wag it around, and he's like, he's no longer a ferocious beast. He's now just something that wants to play.
Yeah.
So, I find it relevant. I find it joyous.
I get it, but I disagree.
The Niffler robbing a bank.
We get it. We get it.
I'll get a Niffler tattoo. I kind of want a Niffler tattoo. Alright, so for those of you that can't keep track, which I don't blame you, there's been a lot of arguing. And there's been a lot of jumping. But Daisy and I already know what each other's number one is. I knew what your number one was going to be the second I said, let's do this.
Yeah, of course. Like, I literally talk about that all the time. Like, how could you not?
Did you automatically know what mine was going to be? Or was it between 2 or 3?
It was between 2.
What were the 2?
Goblet and Year 1.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised Goblet was what you chose. But, yeah.
Just, that's what, they just seemed like the more, but I figured it would be... I guess we'll just say
we'll
if I already know. Like, okay. I assume, or I figured it would be Prisoner of Azkaban because it's just more, like,
it's the
I just know.
Yeah.
I just know.
It's everybody's favorite. It tends to be a lot of people's favorite because
it does.
It's
a
the
lot
turning
of people
point
love it.
For Harry.
Yeah.
And it has absolutely nothing to do with Voldemort, which is nice.
Yeah, it's nice, a nice little break.
Where you're just like, whew. Like, the most Voldemort it gets is Pettigrew. And even that's not very Voldemort because he runs.
Yeah, it's just more of like past.
Exactly.
Of like how he was involved.
It's like, let's settle some beefs.
Before. Yeah.
So where was this on your list?
Hold on. I put it at 5.
Why was it 5? Why is it the halfway mark?
Because I think it's good and I like the story, but I feel like everything that I put above it, I like better. Or I, like, connect to better or something. Like, I don't know. Again, if this was books, completely different. Because the book...
The book is not that much more expansive than the movie.
Yes. You get a little more with the Marauders.
You get a little bit more.
Books are different, honey. Shut up. If this was books, it would be different. Because for book Harry, it is, definitely more up there for me because of the story with all of that, and I don't know.
You're struggling for words here.
Yeah, I am. My B. Whatever. Movie, it's good. I like it. The story is good. I like the twist at the end that it's like it actually wasn't serious and he's literally just been waiting for 12 fucking years to get out and
I don't remember that. Why did he wait 12 years if he was an animagus?
They explain that in the book.
I can't remember that. I haven't read. I was rereading them and I stopped on Azkaban.
Because the Dementors don't see, but they feel.
Yeah, I know. They don't see they don't see the dog. They don't see him in dog form. Dogs aren't relevant to Dementors.
Yeah, but like if he just turned into dog and like got out at any time before that, like they'd notice a missing body.
I don't know. I think you're struggling with this. We'll Google it later.
I can't remember right now.
Okay, so...
But it was just his time, okay? I don't know.
Alright, so because you're grasping for straws here, I'll go all the things I love about this. One, first and foremost, Buckbeak. Buckbeak, number 1 best boy of all time. He's the greatest creature I've ever seen.
Yeah, really, fighting Draco was great. Just...
Fighting? There was no competition. Buckbeak gave him the old 1-2 with his... I guess claws, because his hooves are in his back. Gave him the old 1-2 with his hooves. Cut him down. Was like, what's up, son? Insult my pride again. Insult my other human that's not Hagrid. And we'll fight. The time travel to save Buckbeak's life. Like, who wouldn't time travel to save an animal?
Just all the time travel in general, I think, was really funny. Like, with Ron being like, was she here earlier?
Yeah,
she
and
was
you
not
don't-
just here.
You don't catch up on that until like till the end when it's
Yeah,
just like it all
where
makes
you're
sense.
like, you're just like, Ron, you're being crazy. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Like everybody else.
Poor Ron. That probably put like a big thing on his psyche where he's just like,
Like he literally was like, I'm
losing
going
it."
crazy. Like Hermione has not been hanging out with us. What is wrong with everybody?
You get little. This is more book oriented and like it's not really confirmed. It's just kind of a theory. I think. I don't think J.K. ever like actually spoke to it, but like Ron in divination, where he's like, you're gonna suffer, but you're gonna be happy about it, and then like he actually starts.
No, yeah, there's a lot of theories
where it shows
where
that
it's
he's
just, like-
actually a really good prophecy teller.
because like he does suffer like later on, but he enjoys it. Like
I don't-
throughout the entire thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like he's suffering this entire time, but in the end,
It was
you
all
know,
worth it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he lives a happy life with wife and kids and all that jazz.
Except for the cursed child, you know.
Stop that.
But yeah, that Lupin was the best
Lupin
dark arts teacher.
was just great, and I love that the entire time you just thought that he was like a drunk teacher that didn't care. But it's like
Who thought he was a drunk?
Me, I thought he was a drunk teacher that just didn't care.
I thought he was just tired.
Because he was just like tired all the time and just like not like.
That iconic line, "Eat this, it'll make you feel better." It's just chocolate.
And you're like, oh, what kind of drugs is he giving him?
Right.
But yeah, I definitely wasn't like. He's just a really bad teacher sometimes.
Pivotal moment for Harry, the Patronus. The, you know, like,
That,
when you saw
the
that...
entire time when I saw it, I was just like, oh my god, they're gonna die. They're both gonna die. What are we gonna do? Like, they can't die. I was like, there's more to this story than this. Like, they can't, but it's just like...
And that's sad, like, false hope, where it's like,
Where it's like, I saw my dad, yeah.
Ooh.
But I did like that because, like, he obviously he didn't know his parents, and up until that point, he really didn't know anything about his parents because he didn't interact with anyone who knew them before they died. And finally, you get Lupin and Sirius, kind of, in your life to be able to tell you, like, yeah, I was best friends with your dad, and, like, I knew your mom, and, like, this is what they were, and you are, like, such a perfect, like,
Blend of the two,
and you're so caring like Lily was, but you're, like, fierce like James was, and, like...
Harry's not fierce.
Yes, he
that
is.
fierceness doesn't show up till Half-Blood Prince, when he's, like, where Hermione's, like, she only wants to be with you because... she thinks you're the chosen one. He's like, but I am the chosen one.
Okay,
wink,
first
wink.
off,
that was
that's
fierce as hell.
That's the movie's fault, because Book Harry is way more sassy and amazing than the movies ever let on.
He's only sassy with Snape.
No, he's sassy all the time with anyone.
I want like
always.
we'll do a top 10 sassy lines.
Sassy Harry moments.
Sassy Harry.
But no, I like that part because he's like, that's my dad, and like then it's like the realization, like, I can't rely on someone to show up. I have to do this myself.
You got a lot more out of that than I did. I just thought it was a very touching moment.
Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes that can be deep.
No, I don't know. I liked the transition of, hey, this teacher's like an uncle to me, and then it's like, plot twist, this teacher
is an uncle
to me. And then Sirius is like, I still to this day, my only complaint is like, how does Sirius go from, I've done my waiting, I want to kill him because I was imprisoned for killing him, like that.
So you might as well.
Yeah.
But like, he didn't know that he had anything to want to be free for.
Yeah, I get that.
You know, because
like,
he still held that guilt that, like, oh, I killed my best friends.
And
it's my fault.
Nothing releases or nothing makes you want to live more than revenge when
Yeah.
you realize that Pettigrew's alive.
But then, you know, like, he obviously he knew that Harry was a thing, but he finally, like, came face to face with Harry, and Harry gave him the time to explain what happened. He was like, oh, like, what? Like, that's not right. And it kind of was like, hey, this is my godson, and I see my best friend in him. Like, I don't want to go away. Like, I want to be here for him because he doesn't have anyone else.
So you're getting so many deep moments out of this. I don't understand how it's number 5. But I'll ruin that by also one of my most favorite moments. Harry shooting Snape. He shot him right into that bed and everything.
He really Expelliarmused him.
Yeah, like, it wasn't the like, this is stealing your wand. This is like, we're putting you down for a bit.
Yeah.
Now eat bed.
Eat bed.
Eat bed. But yeah, so that's why it's mine. And then obviously because Buckbeak's alive.
Yeah.
Most important thing.
Of course.
Now, Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Deathly Hallows Part 2 is my number 1 because it's amazing and
that was my number 5. That's funny.
Really? Wow.
So we both...
That's kind of really cool, actually.
Yeah, a little
We're
crazy.
Weird. Okay, well, why was it so low for you?
It's the opposite of Part 1, where Part 1 was like all mid, or like all middle stuff and like, all filler. Like it's important, but like seeing them shoot Reducto at the wand and all that stuff and the weird Harry Hermione makeout thing from 1, it's just like you resolve a lot of issues in 1, sure, but it's like Part 2 is just all conflict, or like immediately like let's jump to fighting, like, and it just doesn't stop. So there's like, they're very clearly what they are, right? Like they, in my opinion, they could have chosen a better place to end Part 1, and a better place to start Part 2 because of that. Mm-hmm. Because it just ends with Dobby dying. It's the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
It's like, that made me cry. That made me and...
Hedwig?
Yeah, and like, they don't really acknowledge it.
Yeah.
There's just like a lot of sad things that happen in 1, and like it ends on a sad note. It's not a very constructive resolution.
But it's just opinion. Like Part 1, or the end of Part 1 with like Dobby dying is just a real like kickoff. Like, you better get ready for what's about to happen, because it's literally nothing but death.
No, but like in Part 2, there's not like a death like payoff or anything. It's not like get ready for this, because you see Lupin and Tonks. Sure, you don't get that emotional like. Fred dying or whatever.
You're telling me you didn't cry at any of that?
No, because like it's not seen and it's not really noted. Like,
you didn't see it in the book either. At least not with like Lupin
no,
and
but
Tonks.
they acknowledge it by Harry seeing it, and like his passing moment on them is like more like a sad reflection on what'll happen to Teddy. And you don't even know that Tonks and Lupin have a kid. Like there's not like a big payoff in Part 2 because that's never said, right? So.
It is.
No.
Yes.
No, it's not.
She says that she's pregnant.
Does
and
she?
then she's not pregnant. In the first one, when they come to take Harry away, she's like, oh, we have some news. And she's like rubbing her belly, and Mad Eye's like, not right now.
I don't remember that, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay,
but like
well,
the point,
it's there.
But like it's not touched on
and
again.
And then, she's not pregnant during the fight, so you know that it happened.
But no, because your goal is like in making movies is not to... You need to tell by showing, right? But if there's nothing to show that she's not pregnant, aside from the fact that she's not pregnant, like nobody knows how much time has passed between this and that. So like,
yes, you do. It's literally summertime because it's right before Harry's birthday.
Pause.
And then it's May.
Oh my god.
I said May.
Yeah. So there's no death payoff.
Well, you're stupid. Deathly Hallows Part 2 is great, and there's so many feels and so many things that happen, which you think is a bad point, but I think it's good. Like, it's non-stop action, you're just going, getting shit done, killing these Horcruxes.
I'm not saying
people
it's bad.
Dying.
I'm not saying it's bad, but like I'm just saying like emotionally, like the deaths don't really like, they don't hit.
How do they? I just don't get you.
I
just don't get, like, you're just not an emotional movie goer, and like that's the problem.
Oh, this coming from the person that sits and like tries to figure out the plot immediately?
It's not like I try to, I just know what happens.
Okay, regardless. Like, name a death that you don't see. Like Snape, yes, an emotional death. I'll give you that.
Yeah, and then that beautiful sequence after with the memories and like... Oh.
But nobody else gets something like that. There's no like touching Weasley moment. There's no touching like... When he's walking and he's just seeing like the bodies and stuff, it's like, just pass by, just pass by, just pass by.
Because he's a man on a mission, man. He has to stop all of this. He has to stop all of his friends from dying.
Yeah, but they're already, like, all dead.
So what's it matter? Like, you gotta avenge them. You gotta make sure that they didn't die for nothing.
Give them more than a passing glance. Jesus Christ, man.
It makes sense. Like, he, like, did the same thing in the book. It was basically essentially the same thing where he was just like...
Yeah, but you don't have that inner monologue.
Well, of course not.
You
Like, you don't get that in most movies. Like, if all movies had that, that'd be freaking dope. Like, you don't get a voiceover of Harry
That's
being
what,
like, oh my
that's the
God.
translation, problem with book to movies. Like, you need to be able to translate that. And I feel
okay,
like
but
they
like,
did not
I don't think
do
that takes away from it.
It totally does.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
It
and
does.
then the freaking going into the Forbidden Forest and facing off Voldemort and like dying and then like having that conversation with with Dumbledore and like being like,
you said Dumbledore.
Yeah, because he's Dumbledore. I'm not
having that final confrontation with Dumbledore.
I said conversation.
Oh, I thought you said confrontation. My bad.
No.
Then yes, sorry. That final conversation with Dumbledore.
Yeah, and then him being like, surprise, bitch. And like, I'm not dead. And like, the final face-off, and it's just like, and then he's like, let's start this. Like, let's end this the way we started together. And then they just like, it's just so good. It's just so good, and you're lame.
Cinematically, that was cool, but also unnecessary.
And then like, the face morphs.
Yeah, like, that was crazy.
Because like, it's just, they were one. They've been one for like all of these years. And finally they're getting to separate and like just stop it, and it's great and it's beautiful and I love it, and you're just trash because you don't think so, and like you don't even cry at the end.
They do Neville justice.
Like, he did so good. Like, I think the Neville justice was better in the book, but like still
it was like the same thing. No, because he saved Ron and Hermione in this, and in the book he just cuts it off Voldemort's shoulder, right?
Yeah, and like he also like when Harry's going to the Forbidden Forest in the book, he has that moment where he's under the cloak because he knows no one's gonna let him go if they see him, but he only reveals himself to Neville
to give him the sword.
and is like, if anything happens, you need to finish this. You're the only other person who could finish this.
Yeah, but Neville had like a road to redemption since like since movie 5, so like it was appropriate that like his scene in
he finally was just like, do it.
It was good. He saved his friends.
But it's just...
It's always what Neville's done.
It's so good. It's so good.
Did they show... They showed the chamber, right? Where Ron and Hermione go in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The kiss was, like, random as hell.
Also better in the book.
The
book's just overall better.
One of my favorite things... Ron charging after he's like, you almost killed my girlfriend. And then running back is like... They set the bloody place on fire.
Yeah, and just Hermione's like smile when she was like, oh, he called me his girlfriend.
Yeah. So, there's like
great stuff.
It's not that it's like bad. I just feel like because of like the way they're separated, it's very much one and then the other.
Sure.
And like
it is part 1 and part 2.
And for me, I don't like that. That's why Crimes of Grindelwald is 10, because it's just a lot of one and like a lot of nothing else.
Sure, I get that.
It's lacking. And because, like, if they did a double feature, I'd totally be down. I don't understand why people aren't more, like, 3-hour movies are fine. Like, with Avengers supposedly having a 3-hour runtime, I'm hyped for it.
Heck yeah. Everyone I've talked to about it,
which
has been 2 people at work, are about it.
If you're gonna have a climactic end, go balls to the wall. Doesn't matter. Like, and also, they set that, because, Harry Potter, they set the trend for, let's break everything down in 2 parts.
Yeah, although they're, like,
Twilight,
book, movie
Hunger
things
Games.
that did not need it at all, and they were just copying to make more money. Harry Potter actually needed it because that book is thick.
I mean, I think they could have condensed the walking, but sure.
No, you can suck my butt.
What would you take from the first one that was necessary? They needed to see Bathilda Bagshot. They needed, we'll just say go to Godric's Hollow.
That was like way at the end.
They needed to do that.
The wedding.
Happened. What was it? The will, the last will and testament of Dumbledore. I would have liked if they actually put in the whole Dursley saying goodbye. I'm sad they didn't put that in there.
They did put it in the special features.
Yeah, the special features
that you see
on ABC.
Family.
But like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that would have been good because you don't get that closure either. So it's like there's certain things that miss that I just like don't agree with.
Sure.
Which is why the Deathly Hallows are where they are on my list.
Okay, well, your list is trash, mine is better. Let's do books next time.
I haven't read them in like...
That's not my fault.
Well, how old am I?
They're
23.
literally all right there. There are multiple copies of almost every single book. There's no reason for you to not.
I'm gonna read all the European ones.
I don't have all of the European ones.
I'll read whatever's there.
Okay.
But anyway, that's been our top 10 list. And I'm right, Daisy's wrong.
No, I'm right, you're wrong.
We'll see how this goes with Star Wars. But
Star Wars, we'll really fight. Just kidding, I don't think we'll really fight.
No, I think we'll really fight. We always really fight. So there's...
We didn't really fight much here.
You literally said my opinion's trash.
Because your opinion is trash. I don't get
it. It makes sense to me. Daisy, when you realize
Listen, I
how
love
movies...
you. I won't divorce you, but you're still wrong.
I guess that's appreciated.
What?
You just give me a look like everything I've said is like a slap in the face.
Because it has been. I feel betrayed. But it's fine.
Are you surprised,
Because I know you would never understand.
Ah, that's rude. That's such a dour note to end on. Anyway. My niece just summoned Daisy to go see some dinosaurs. I accidentally got her obsessed with Jurassic Park. And she is also instantly obsessed with Daisy. So anytime she gets a dinosaur, she loves to show Daisy. But that's fine. We've done our top 10. It's the end of the show. Thank you guys for listening. Like I said, you can now find us on iTunes, on Spotify. Leave reviews. Give us feedback. We love it. We're going to try and stick to a 3-episode schedule where Daisy will choose a topic, I'll choose a topic, and we'll do a top 10 per week. And hopefully if that works out, maybe we'll eventually jump to 5. I still want to do some Star Wars lore, and maybe Daisy will start doing some Harry Potter lore, because let's face it, those worlds are very expansive. But until then, thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.